the Stavro-Portland deal.
If nothing has undermined the confidence of people in Toronto about our Olympic bid to date, it has been this issue.
And Moose Call in Toronto. Hundreds descend for a summer visit.
Money moose, flag moose, multicultural moose.
Just how did Toronto's come? The Moose Call has gone out. This summer, as many as 200 fiberglass bovines will be grazing in downtown Toronto. The wildlife display is supposed to attract herds of tourists. Businesses in the city are sponsoring the exhibit and getting local artists to create what organizers call an outdoor museum. But is it the type of art that Hogtown should be putting on display? Videographer Donna Young has this look at moose in the city.
Look out, Toronto, because here comes the moose. Where else in the world would you find at least 400 life-size fiberglass moose painted and decorated by the finest artists in the world? They're big, they're beautiful, they're fun, and they're 100% made in Toronto moose.
We scrambled to put together this first 100 in 6 weeks' time. The mayor of Toronto has announced in the media that he'd like to see 400. That might be optimistic, but we are certainly hoping to get to 200 and possibly more.
Oh, we're waiting for my moose to come. It's going to be called the Moose Motif. Thanks to my wife, that was her idea. Oh, here we come, I think. Is that them? Yep. That is a moose. Oh. It makes me scared. It's a lot of work. Wow.
Good.
It's going to be a lot of material. If it was up to me, I'd start right now. No, I'm just going to get my income tax out of the way, and then I'm going to start this.
We have fashion moose, transit moose, dancing moose, skiing moose, restaurant moose, shopping moose, tourist moose.
No, it really doesn't surprise me. It doesn't seem that the moose have a whole lot left out there, and what is left is being slowly destroyed, and it's natural that they're eventually going to come into the city, you know, for a habitat. I think it's too bad, but it's the way it is.
There's chocolate moose, Bay Street moose, banker moose, money moose, flag moose, multicultural moose, and Mickey moose.
Our fashion moose cannot buy off the rack, so she spent about 5 days with her moose couturiers who created her latest spring outfit, which really captures all the hot trends for spring. Yorkdale's participating in the promotion by buying a herd. We're lucky. Our business is fashion, and fashion is fun.
Whatever else it may be, it's also a good make-work project for 200 artists. And of course, I'm delighted that they're letting me do the kickoff one. The piece that I'm creating for Nathan Phillips Square, there would be a good reason to call it Your Highness. This was the first time I was ever in the company of the beast. I was 4½. The first time you see one, it's like you've looked upon the face of creation. It really takes your breath away. They're absolutely magnificent in their awkward, majestic way.
We originally had moose that were much more anatomically correct, but they sent us back and said, look, would you try and beef them up a little bit, make them a little heavier? And that helps us too, because the legs are stronger and makes it a safer exhibit.
We're selling them now, and they're selling like hotcakes. Orders are flooding in.
The whole thing is just so tacky, everything about it. There's a similar program in Chicago, which actually they've just ripped off here, Holus Bolus. And they apparently got an extra 2 million visitors, therefore they assume we will too. The real message of what he was saying was that let's hand one more part of the city over to big business. And this will allow them to turn the streets of the city into advertisements for themselves. I mean, as if we don't have enough already. And the fact that it happens to be passed off as art gives them an excuse to do this, and it kind of allows them to wrap themselves in this aura of culture, and I think that's frankly nonsense.
We purchased the Atlas moose. It'll be about doubled the length of my arm span and about 3 feet higher than me, so it's going to sit right here and take up quite a large space. I'd like to encourage all of our neighbors to phone Mel Lastman and buy a moose.
I think it's foolish. Spending money that's not necessary to attract visitors. I don't want them in front of my house, but if they like to see them downtown, well, they're welcome to them.
I spent a frantic week having measured my own studio and realized there was no way that they could go into it. And this was the best I could do, was an outdoor spot. This I submitted as the Daily Moose. However, I've asked them to change the name to Moose Paper because I like that better. This one is called Moose About Town. The inspiration was a Harold Town painting called Toy Horse. And buried in the jigsaw puzzle is the name Town.
It's a good idea to promote it, I think. Moose, to me, it means something huge, big, powerful, and free. I killed that moose with one bullet, and I said that, why don't I call my company Moose? That's how I got the name.
They're just going to want to see the moose. They're going to want to come to Toronto to see the moose.
I think Mel Lastman wants a first-class city. Then we should dress it first class, not with moose heads. You want to put a beaver there? That's fine. Put a trillion, but not a moose head. We're not noted for our moose. Not to my knowledge, anyways.
I can't imagine a better animal. It symbolizes a lot of what Canada means to me. I mean, they're pretty much just found here. My design is based on a traditional X-ray type of Indian style. I've tried to show the muscle bodies, how all the organs are connected to each other through design. I'm going to call it tribal spirit. I think the best thing about this is that they didn't go with already established names. It's good for catapulting a lot of people who are trying to get into the art world and just haven't had a good shot at it yet.
I can't recall any other time when a civic administration has put something like this in place for the benefit of artists. And there's some really interesting stuff, you'll see. I think, you know what, it's so nice to be able to walk out into the street and get a chuckle. You know, everybody takes themselves so seriously, you know, they think that you can't have humor in art. Hello, sure you can.
The arts in the city are in serious shape right now, and that attention needs to be paid to them. And the idea is here is that, you know, if we laugh hard enough, if we have enough fun, that somehow everything will be okay.
They'll make you laugh, they'll make you happy, they'll make you proud. From June to October, the moose will rule.
The natural habitat of the moose is in Canada's woodlands. The great beast is comfortable in the shallow ponds and lakes. Simon Rakoff thinks what's natural might also be what's best. Here's his pointed view.
Thank you. Our mayor is a man of vision, a really strange vision. Very soon, hundreds of moose are going to dot Toronto's downtown. That's plural moose, by the way. We're lucky Mel didn't just envision one gigantic moose that towered over the CN Tower, blotting out the sun. That would attract those American tourists, huh? They could see it from Buffalo. Or in his fevered obsession, the mayor just might have made homeless people or squeegee kids dress up as moose. I know the moose is a Canadian icon. It's an obvious choice, but not necessarily the best one. Well, much like the mayor himself, I suppose. How about something that really says Toronto? Tourists always think of us as clean. Giant brooms and dustpans would work. Or how about 10-foot-high trash cans? They would actually be functional. I just wish there'd been some consultation about such a big civic project to bring tourists here. I mean, I can think of a million ideas that would draw tourists to our city like flies. We could legalize pot and hookers like they did in Amsterdam. How about turning the lake into iced tea? Or painting the Gardiner Expressway to look like Twizzlers. Maybe we could hire a plastic surgeon to turn our zoo animals into celebrity lookalikes. See, I have lots of ideas. But just because I have them doesn't mean they're good. Then again, I'm not the mayor. I'm Simon Rakoff.
He sure is. Well, if not the moose, what do you think would be a good symbol for Toronto? Let us know. Our phone number is 205-7700. Our fax number is 205-7166. And here is our email address, tvnews@toronto.cbc.
I learned the game, and it was wonderful.